The story begins with a planet in a galaxy far away from Earth, whose name was Chitón. Chitón was occupied by a dangerous alien named Scorba. On this planet, there was a scientist named John, who, after many years of experiments, created a child who could save Ton from Scorba's terror later on, but Scorba soon got a clue of this, and he was heading towards his lab to kill the child. Then John put the child in a small spaceship and sent him to the USA on Earth. In a few moments, Scorba reached there with his daughter Aga. Agata read John's mind and told Scorba everything. Then Scorba gave Aga the mission to go after that child and catch him. Aga left with her spaceship, but on the other hand, that child's spaceship collided with a satellite of the Earth and he fell straight into a field in Spain. Then a man and his wife saw that child and were surprised to see his mustache. Anyway, they adopted the child and named him Juan Lopez. They also named him Juan. He also hid the spaceship in his garage. Soon they realized that Juan was not an ordinary child. His mustache grew very quickly and he also had amazing powers. He had tremendous speed, the power to see through things and to turn water into ice. But whenever he used his powers, others would run away in fear. Because of this, Juan did not make any friends till the age of 10. His parents explained to him that to mingle with the people here, he would have to pretend to be a normal person like them. 20 years passed like this, and now Juan was living alone in the big city as a normal person. One day his friend Jamie called him and asked him why he had not reached work yet. Juan said that he had reached the office, and then he got ready quickly at his fast speed and reached the office within 2 minutes. Well, then Jamie told Juan that a new girl was going to come to the office today, and Jamie had started liking her. Jamie said that he was waiting for her. Hun wants to have a welcome party, but Hun refused and went to have breakfast. Then the bell rang, and Hun saw through the door that this new girl was Louisa, who was his friend in the university. Hun happily opened the door and welcomed her and told her about the welcome party to be held in the evening. After work in the evening, Louise, Huvan, Jamie, and 2 workers stayed for the party. When Louise went to the bathroom, Hun used his great hearing power and came to know that Louise did not like Jamie's clingy nature at all, but she was very happy with Hun being there. After this, Hun made ice from water and made drinks for everyone, but by then, Louise had left. Then Huvan went after her at his fast speed and met her at the station. Then both of them went to have food together. When they were at the restaurant, some young boys and girls came there and started making noise. When Louise stopped them, they started making fun of him, and one boy even pushed Hun, which made Hun angry. So many people came, but he did nothing to hide his reality. Later, he was waiting for the train to go home and was thinking whether it is right to hide his reality. Then a train passed in front of them at a very high speed. This train had gone out of control, and then he gathered courage and jumped on the tracks. With his super speed, he reached the next station before the train. But 3:18. When he tried to stop the train, his powers were not enough and he was pulled along with the train. Finally, he reached the last station at a super speed and made a gate from the emergency lane, which was successful in stopping the train, and a big accident was averted. At that time, everyone started looking at him, but he stole someone's hat and immediately ran away from there. Next morning, the news of a man stopping the train came on all the TV channels, and this news reached Ada in the USA. Ada had grown up now, and she was the owner of an electronics company named Chit. She was now 352. Hun was also looking for Hun, and today she got a very big treasure, so she decided to go to Spain with her army of robots. In the office, Hun planned to go out with Luis again. Then Jamie came and told him that Ada is coming from USA to Spain to meet that superhero. Ada told her father that she will soon reach John's son, and her company's technology has spread to every corner of the world. But Scorba did not believe in Gata because she had already spent so many years on this mission. Hun was just going to meet Luis when suddenly he got a dangerous headache. Actually, it was Gata who was calling him to the Chit Company building by sending signals in his brain. Van could not stop himself and reached that building where he was taken for dinner with Aga. Aga told Juan that she is also an alien like him, and she wants to take Juan back to her planet. Hun did not believe her at all, and he started going out, but then the guard stopped him. By reading his mind, Ada found out that Hun likes Louisa. Then he sent his army of robots to stop Hun. Hun 458 did not know much about fighting, but it was a cakewalk for him to teach these robots a lesson. But one after the other, the robots kept coming, and they formed a swarm and climbed on Hun. Then Juan came out from below, and he went out of the elevator. Here, Gata saw that Juan had forgotten his jacket here. In it, Ada found Luisa's business plan, from which he started preparing for his next plan. The technology of his company Chit was available everywhere, so he easily hacked the cleaning machine in Juan's office and took Luisa's DNA sample. Then, this machine connected itself to the computer and started sending this information to Ada, but then Jamie noticed it. He saw that the information was being sent somewhere else, so he tried to lift the machine, but he got a tremendous electric shock. Then the machine got fly-like legs and started chasing Jamie. Then Jamie picked up the track, and with the help of other 2 workers broke that machine by hitting it. But by then it was too late because DNA sample had reached Aga. Now Jamie tried to warn Louise by calling her, but she did not pick up the phone. Meanwhile, Hun also reached Louisa's house searching for her. He saw that Louisa was drunk and she wanted Juan to spend tonight with her. Hun said that he cannot take advantage of her in drunken state, but when Louisa called him a coward, Juan kissed her and left from there. Then Jamie saw all this, who had come to warn Louise. He got very angry with Juan. Then Gata came there and read Jamie's mind. Now he decided to execute his plan by making Jamie a pawn. With the help of Louise's DNA, he made a robot that looked like Louise. Then he told Jamie that if he helps Gata, then she will take him to the real Louise. Anyway, the next morning, Juan left with went to his parents' house and asked them about his truth. Finally, they told Juan that he was really an alien. Then they showed Juan his spaceship. Then Juan pressed a button and a video of his real father John came out. He explained everything to Juan and told him that he had to go back to Chitón and save his people from Scorba. But Juan had no interest in becoming a superhero of a faraway planet. But then his mother convinced him and made a superhero suit for him from the clothes found in the spaceship. 7:18. Juan thought that he did not have the power to fly, but still, he went to the roof and tried to fly. He fell badly. This convinced Juan that he was not a superhero. But then some mischievous children came there and started making fun of his suit. Then Juan made a mark with his hands and suddenly he rose above the ground. Then he raised his other hand too and suddenly he started flying high in the sky. At first he was not able to control himself. That is why sometimes he fell in the sea and sometimes in the desert. But in a short while, he fell down. He learned to fly and came straight to his house. Then he wore normal clothes from upstairs, and then Louis Robot came to his house. Van felt something was wrong, so he took him to his room. Van told his reality. Then Louis asked Juan to go back to his planet on the advice of Agatha, but Juan did not want to leave him and go anywhere. Then Jamie controlled Louis and said that Juan's kiss was very bad and he is cheating his friend Jamie. Hearing this, Juan realized that he did not do right with Jamie. After this, Jamie's heart also melted after hearing his words. Then Agard gave the command to Louisa, and she punched Juan hard, due to which he fell down with a thud. Then Hun took off his costume and started fighting with Louis. Finally, he hit the robot with a bat and broke off its head. On the other hand, Gatha saw that Jamie wanted to help Juan, so he took Jamie captive. On the other hand, Hun came to know that Louis is in Barcelona, so he flew there. When Hun reached there, he told him the truth, but Luis could not believe it. So he took out his costume right there so that he could show Luis that he is a superhero. But then ATA's men kidnapped Luis, and Hun got a severe headache, due to which Ada told him 903 that Luis is now in his custody. Now Juan flew to the Chit building where Louise and Jamie were tied to a wall. Suddenly, a deafening sound started coming from the speakers installed there, due to which Juan fell down in pain. Jamie and Louise tried to encourage him, but it made no difference. Then Jamie said what a useless superhero he is of no use. This hurt Juan's ego, and he started getting up. Then Louise also started insulting him, and hearing all this, Juan got angry. He made a hole in the wall with his heat vision and freed both of them and brought them to his house. Meanwhile, Aga 937 did not get the news of this because Scorba had just come to Earth. He was not interested in meeting Aga. He just wanted to see Na. When Aga took Scorba to her headquarters, she saw that they all had run away. Then Scorba scolded Aga a lot and said that if only she was his daughter. Finally, AKA lost his mind after hearing the taunts, and she cut the oxygen pipe of the old Corba. Now she had taken Corba's place, and she soon reached Huvan's house in a spaceship. After coming down, she transformed herself into a robot. Huvan immediately started wearing his superhero suit. 10:11 Juan's father shot at ATA's robot. Then Ada tried to pull him inside by blowing a strong wind. Hun came to save him, but the robot pulled him. Then Gata picked Huvan up and threw him so far that he fell into the Barcelona match. Soon, Hun came flying back, but by then Gata had pulled his mother too. Then she threw Hun down and trampled him. Then she took out a saw and was about to cut Huvan when Jamie started distracting her. Atta pulled her too. Then finally Louise came with a truck and started calling Huvan. Huvan got up. 10:45. He stood up, and then he punched the robot and said that his name is Super Lopez. Then he turned the glass into ice and pushed it into the pool. Finally, Hun's parents, Jamie and Aga, came out of the robot. Then Hun sent Aga and a superhero on the Chit, and there everyone came to know that Scorba has been killed. So they accepted him as the real Juan. While on Earth, Juan became the biggest superhero here. He also married Louise, and whenever he gets time, he keeps helping everyone by becoming a superhero. If you like the video, then like and subscribe to the channel. 11:20. We will meet in the next video.